We'll keep on this one with truth or fake. Vedika Bahel is waiting by the big board. Vedika, good evening to you. The fallout of this latest Epstein file dump continues. As we've been hearing, multiple high-profile figures have been mentioned, including the ones that Philip and I were talking about, but also the usual ones: Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Elon Musk, and so on, even Donald Trump. But internet users are widely sharing false photos of Zohran Mamdani and his mother with Jeffrey Epstein. Tell us about this.
Well, Mark, it seems that Zohran Mamdani and his family have been caught in the crossfire following this massive Epstein file dump released by the Department of Justice. And this comes after his mother, miranair, the acclaimed film director, creator of films such as Monsoon Wedding and The Namesake, after she was named as a film party guest in an email to Epstein. And internet users have been sharing some outlandish claims and fake photos about it. So let's take a look at those reactions. Well, these are the images that have been widely shared by internet users online, claiming to show miranair and a young Zohran Mamdani, either as a child or as a baby, pictured with Jeffrey Epstein, along with Bill Clinton, Epstein's accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeff Bezos, and the like. And many of these posts therefore imply that Mamdani has more devious political connections, or imply that he has been elected due to his mother's influence with Epstein. Now, another viral false claim, possibly the most outlandish of them all, is the claim that Mamdani is in fact the illegitimate son of Jeffrey Epstein due to his mother's alleged close relationship with him. And that's what was shared by far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to his over 4 million followers on X. It was also shared by an account called USA News, an account that on Truth or Fake, we often see this account sharing more and more fake news as well. But as we can see here, it racked up over 22 million views. So we can really see the reach on this false story. Now, internet users further escalated this conspiracy theory even further when they pointed out that before she met Zohran Mamdani's father, Mahmoud Mamdani, miranair was in fact married to a man called Mitch Epstein, a man who has no relation to Jeffrey Epstein, but just happens to share the same name. But yes, this was used to escalate and push that false claim even further. But what I can tell you is that those images that we're seeing and these rumours, they are very much fabricated and they are not to be believed.
Okay, explain to us and show us how we can see that these photographs are not authentic. They are bogus. Show us.
Well, that's because, Mark, they're made with artificial intelligence, and there's a lot of things, in fact, that don't add up. Now, these AI pictures were first shared by this account called DFF, which calls itself openly a parody account. And this is an account that shares hundreds, if not thousands, of AI-generated images, some of them more and more ridiculous by the day, in order to rack up views, rack up engagement, and get those clicks. And this same account has, in fact, capitalized on the fact that the false images that it's created is now going viral. It's proudly talking about how much money it's made for people this week on X. It's sharing and posting retweets about the fact it can't believe people are believing it, about how the account feels that it's broken the internet. In fact, the account is now continuing to share even more AI slop, as you can see here, showing Mamdani in the womb during a sonograph, in order to even further exacerbate these false claims. But in terms of how we can tell that these are AI generated, in fact, there is a pretty visible hint that they're not authentic right there on the screen. We can see a very clear watermark, DFF, linking back to our AI account right there in the middle of miranair's dress. We can also see it here on Bill Clinton's shirt, also hidden up here in the corner. And conveniently, none of the accounts that are reposting this and sharing this have not mentioned that watermark that is visible. But it's not just a physical watermark. There's also a digital watermark present. Google's Synth ID digital watermark has been detected in the images, which points to us that these images were likely created using Google's own AI tools. Now, lastly, the final thing that doesn't add up is that the email in which miranair is mentioned at being the guest at the party, that email is dated from 2009. And Zohran Mamdani was born in 1991, which means that he was 18 at the time that his mother went to this party. And this is something that DFF, the account DFF, also admits to, saying that you guys failed and I purposely made him a baby. But it's, again, that's something that people sharing these images have not thought about at all.
Indeed, somebody's idea of a joke. Perhaps, but it's not that funny, really, is it? So tell us, what do we know about the email in which his mother was mentioned? Is this true or fake? Tell us.
Well, that part is true. His mother was mentioned in an email to Jeffrey Epstein by his publicist Peggy Siegel. Her name came up in the context of an after party taking place at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse, an after party for film. Now, the email also says that Jeff Bezos and Bill Clinton were also present, but she's referred to as a guest. And the document makes no accusations towards miranair or gives any evidence of deeper connections to Jeffrey Epstein or having a closer relationship with him or any paternity or any probes or anything like that. I also want to point out that the email, as I said, is dated from 2009, the same year that miranair directed a film called Amelia that starred Hilary Swank and Richard Gere, two people that are also listed in the email as being at this party, implying that it is a promotional event for her film. But conveniently also, these two stars are also listed as being at the party, but conveniently they haven't been targeted with AI photos or false claims or paternity claims or any claims about having any links to Epstein. So I think what we can surmise here that this is at the heart of this story, it is a parody account that has created these AI-generated images. These has been amplified by far-right conspiracy theorist accounts like Alex Jones, and this has continued to spread falsehoods online.
There are so many things going on, Vedeka, aren't there? Because people clearly are seeing what happens. Some are taking it as for face value, but others are really carving out their own agenda and using it for their own purposes, and that's what you've exposed. Vedeka, thank you very much indeed for